Yo, what's up, guys? Everyone, today, man, I'll be talking about the Miami Heat and how they have been really surprising so far this season. As a Heat fan, I'll be honest, I had no faith in the team at all. A lot of people actually I saw on Twitter, they actually were a lot lower on the Heat than I was. Some of them are higher, some of them are lower. So some not even have us in the play-in, but I had us somewhere in like the 8 to 10 range, back in the play-in as usual. But I really had like no faith at all. I mean, it seems really, when you look at it at face value initially coming into the season, I was like, oh, this team was full of third options, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, Norman Powell. Didn't know that the offense would be this good, though. Shout out to Noah LaRoche. I'll get into him in a little bit as well. But Norman Powell has been phenomenal. Jaime Jaquez Jr. might be back. Funny enough, I was about to make a video solely on Jaime. Then I was like, hold on. I gotta talk about the Heat overall, because this dub tonight, this was phenomenal. Wiggins has been a pleasant surprise on both ends of the basketball. Not that he was bad last year, but he definitely looked like he took a little bit to get used to the Heat from transitioning from the Warriors and being that whole shell shock of being traded and things like that. But he's been really good, especially in the clutch on both ends of the basketball. And Simone Fontecchio has been phenomenal as well. He's been really good at shooting the basketball. He's a willing defender. Like, he's been really good so far. Mind you, that was a guy that was potentially a cut candidate to save tax and in the Miami Heat, and instead just traded away a second round pick to attach with Haywood Highsmith instead to create lower cap. But after the first game of the season, I was like, trolling kind of like talks for, we're taking for AJ DeBonta, living in New England, like, we're taking for AJ, New England legend. And then the Miami Heat so far have been just a damn good ball club. Like, they've been really good. Shout out Gunna for that AJ song. But tonight, getting a dub without Bam and Hero, and the Cavs having Darius Garland fully healthy, Donovan Mitchell, who had an insane shot before that. He was 2 for 15 from 3, and then hitting an insane 3 over Khalil, where he was 7 foot tall. DeAndre Hunter, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, which in my opinion should be their starting 5 when fully healthy. Lonzo Ball was so annoying in a good way too. Like, he had this play where he got multiple rebounds and they kicked it to him for a wing 3. I'm like, oh brother, dude, that's just so damn annoying. But I can appreciate it as a basketball fan. By the way, also before I get into this, the Heat and Magic today made history as the first 2 teams to ever win on buzzer beaters, and those 2 teams being both in the same state. Bane hit a clutch 3 over Tumani Kamara to win the game after just an insane ending. Paolo Banchero took and he takes and he gives at the end. Pause, I know, but if you understand it, you understand if you watched the game. I was watching on Playback, though. Shout out to that boy, Desmond Bane. This video is sponsored by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is a daily fantasy sports app where you can win money by just choosing more or less on each projection, ranging from sports like the NFL to the MLB to the NBA to so much more, including esports and over 100 different sports and leagues. Now, no users, you can use my sign-up code, your boy John, YABOYYJOHN, and win $50 by just placing a $5 entry regardless if you win or lose that entry. Thank you to PrizePicks for sponsoring this video. The Miami Heat this season are 7-4. They have the 3rd best record in the Eastern Conference. Behind the Pistons, who have been a pleasant surprise. I have a Pistons video coming in soon. I'm not going to lie, I was pretty low on the Pistons. But the Pistons so far, hey, they've been good. Really good, actually. Cade shot an absolute tornado, but they got a dub today over the Wizards. Shout out to that boy, Dennis Jenkins. And also behind the Knicks as well, who we beat this season, and winners of 7 of the last 10 games, including 5-0 at home. The Heat are 8th overall in the NBA in terms of record at 7-4. Wins against the Grizzlies, Knicks, Hornets, Clippers, Hornets again, Blazers, and the Cavs tonight. Losses against the Magic opening night, Spurs without De'Aaron Fox, the Lakers without LeBron, and the Denver Nuggets, who are the Miami Heat's kryptonite. And we had Khalil Ware, whose nickname is Kryptonian, and we still gonna beat them. Knee slapper. I'll see myself out on that one. But yeah. Also, in the second Hornets game that we just played not too long ago, the Miami Heat scored a franchise record. I want to say 53 points, which is 2 points off the 2019 or whatever Warriors against the Blazers in the first quarter. It was absolutely insane. And the fact that it was a very sweaty game at the end because they just turned it off in the second quarter. And at the end, they had a 10-point lead and finally ended up coasting towards the tail end of the fourth quarter. But yeah, the Miami Heat. First, I want to get into the new offensive system, then I'll work my way to the stats and things like that. Eric Spoelstra and Noah LaRoche saved my life for the game. Noah LaRoche is a consultant for the Miami Heat. He came from the Grizzlies in that new offense where there was a lot of motion, and John Moran was having a lot of problem because he's a a ball dominant guy. John Moran is a star player. He needs the ball consistently, which is why he's having some trouble right now with the Grizzlies as the constant rotations, and he needs 35 minutes a game. But it's like, coach is like 28 minutes, and he's like, Josh, like, I'm good. I need my minutes, coach. I need my minutes. I'm the focal point of your offense. You gave me this bag. Like, I'm supposed to be that guy. Let me be that guy. But the thing with Miami Heat is right now, the Miami Heat they have guys, but they don't have the guy. They don't have a number one on a championship level team. So, the Miami Heat instead have this phenomenal offense. Shout out to Nola Roach and shout out to Spoelstra for finally hiring an offensive coordinator. It's a phenomenal offense where you push the pace, you drive and kick, very unselfish basketball, quick decision making. Miami Heat currently have the fastest pace in the NBA at 106.5, which, by the way, is perfect for Tyler Hero. Quick decision making, not milking the clock. That's Tyler Hero. Catch and shoot. Quick decision making. Catch and shoot. Decision making. That is Tyler Hero's game. They also bottom of the league in pick and rolls, obviously, and also bottom of the league in shots taken with under 5 seconds remaining on the clock, which lets you know for the most part that is just tendencies of being a bad half-court offense, which the Miami Heat have been for a while. Now they have a really good half-court offense and a really good half-court defense. God did. Thank you, Eric Spoelstra. Thank you, Nola Roach. Great W against the Cavs tonight. Wiggins, just a phenomenal drawn-up dunk after an insane shot hit by Donovan Mitchell. Mobley hit a clutch three. Got a block on Jaime. Then Jaime hits the clutch shot over Jalen Tyson to force overtime. And then in overtime, Wiggins, after a insane shot, goes ahead and, yeah. Dude, just an insane shot. Dude. Literally no centers in the game for both teams. Lob from Jovic, wide open paint. Wiggins takes it up and puts it down. Shout out to Chris Quinn. He assists the head coach and Miami Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra as well. Shout out to my dogs. Just wide open. The paint was sweet. Literally just nobody in between Wiggins. They were like, oh, no, center in the court. I don't have to guard the paint. Whatever. Just stop Norman Powell. But nope. Yes, sir. Shout out to Khalil Ware today as well with 20 rebounds. I wanted more. I think they maybe took him backwards like 19. Don't quote me on that. But, yeah. That was absolutely absurd. The Miami Heat currently have the 11th best offensive rating at 116.4. The Miami Heat have the 7th best defensive rating at 111.4. A net rating, which is 7th best in the league at 4.8. They're scoring the most points in the NBA at 125.5 points per game. Yep, the Miami Heat are doing so. 24th in points allowed, though, at 119.8. I get it comes with the fast pace, but it needs to be better. Also, misses some games with Bam Adebayo, but still, the defense need to be better. Again, some of that is the fast pace, but again, a team that has 3 auxiliary pieces as really good defenders, like, they should be better defensively, but I'll get into that as well toward the end of the video. The Miami Heat are also 6th in the league in field goal percentage at 49.6% and 11th in three-point percentage at 37.7%. The Miami Heat also employ Norman Powell. They got him for Kyle Anderson. Even should have been a second-round pick. It was Kyle Anderson, Kevin Love, and maybe a second-round pick for Norman Powell, who's a walking bucket, 3-level scorer. Thoroughly impressed by Andrew Wiggins as far as this season as well. He's been an absolute dude. Clutch on both ends. Bam Adebayo was here with the 3-ball when he is fully healthy. And top 5 defender on planet Earth agenda is so back. He went from one day guarding Wemby to one day guarding Harden in isolation. Like, that boy cold. That boy is cold. Shout out to my dog, Eric Spoelstra, as well. He has so much going on, and he's still coming through the whole, his house is burnt down. Natira Rozier thinking he wouldn't be in the rotation. That's still a lot, for a locker room, for the coach. Regardless, he doesn't have his all-star right now, Tyler Hero. He's a new look system. Bam Adebayo was in and out of the lineup. He's currently the second best scorer on the team behind Norman Powell. He's also Miami Heat's defensive anchor. And you really have to makeshift the center position now with not really having a backup big as Khalil Ware is now starting. Norman Powell has been great as the number one option so far. Starts off hot. Superb three-point shooter. Good closer so far as well. Willing defender, which I like at Norman Powell. The Kawhi shot for a game. He was the primary defender on Kawhi. Forced a tough shot. Wiggins had a weak side on him on the left. And Larson is on the left. On the right in the corner on James Harden, just as additional help if he needed it. Rim pressure is there for Norman Powell, 3-level scorer. The midi is money. I love when he draws fouls at the rim, at the midi, especially from 3. Just has superb confidence. Shoots a lot of shots. You're like, oh, yeah. Norman Powell is a bucket if you didn't know. If you don't know, now you know. That boy is cold. Bam Adebayo's defense looks all the way back. Again, guarding from days like Wemby to Harden, like yeah, just all the switches. The guy's absolutely insane. 3-point shot is at 34%, which for Bam is pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie, selfishly for Bam Adebayo, I want 20, 10, and 5 a game from him. Yeah, Bam. I want 20, 10, and 5 a game from you. Again, the guy that I was going to make this video primarily on, Jaime Jaquez Jr. The Jaime Highway is all the way back. His burst looks there. Ability to get to the rim. The playmaking has been a notch up. The rebounding has been a notch up. He just looks fully healthy. I'm not going to lie. Last year, I gave up on him. But this year, I'm not going to lie. I am all the way back on Jaime Jaquez Jr. Simone Fontecchio has been phenomenal as a knockdown shooter, willing defender. Pelle Larson. I love him. Dude, he's been starting recently. Dude, Pelle Larson out of Arizona. That dude can hoop. Incredibly underrated. Tough-nosed defender. Relentless finisher. Really good when he's hitting his threes. Davion Mitchell's been a pest defensively. Really good playmaking and really good at getting downhill. The three comes and goes. But off night, man, I love his tenacity. Love it, love it, love it. Wiggins, like I mentioned, he's been really good so far this season. 3-point shot feels so good and not forced. Downhill. I love when he's hitting his middies. Man, Wiggins, man. Clap it up for Wiggs, man. Salute. Shout out to that boy Wiggs. Khalil Ware, though, he's been up and down this season. Comes with his motor issues. Still believe in him as a scorer. He does have a really good touch. His ability to block shots, just be a really good lob threat, and occasionally hit threes. But, he has a lot of slack on his hand. Now, Slater just added more pressure because the whole untouchable talks for Kevin Durant. And, having to basically force exposure to basically just wake up the beast inside of him that's just willing to be unleashed. But throwing more lobs, which will be the thing when Tyler Hero comes back. I want him to get more rebounds. He had 19 or 20 today, but there was about to the end of the game as well. I'm like, I have to look to see if he really was in the game. But, dude, I was like, rebound. But there were some points as well. I'm like, yeah, good board, Khalil. Yeah, get him over Jared Allen. Yeah, Khalil. Yeah, good shit, my boy. Needs to be better as a repetitor as well. Kind of had that kind of like Hassan Whiteside level in him where he's like about kind of like a block merchant. So it's like, kind of tone a little bit of that down. But, hey, Khalil, good game tonight, though. But, hey, like Khalil's one of those guys that have like on again, off again games. Like I want to see him stat game consistently. But shout out to Khalil. Drew Smith has been really good on both ends in his spurts. Interested to see what happens with Kasparis. Yakochonis ends up getting in rotation, and he's fully healthy the last couple of games. But I think Drew Smith has been playing really well defensively, especially when he's hitting his threes. And pretty good at getting downhill as well. Decent playmaking as well. Shout out to that boy Drew Smith. Nikola Jovic, he's been up and down this season. The talent is there, but at this point he just looks absolutely lost. He's only 20. He's 22, I think, and Ware's 21, so it just comes and goes with him. But he was great against the Blazers. Should be better in this type of fast-paced system. The talent is there though, but he just has so much like errativeness, if that's the word. He's just so erratic. His game. I don't want to see him just become a spot-up three-point shooter. The rebounding needs to improve. The playmaking comes and goes with his errativeness. The talent is obviously there though, and he also could obviously improve defensively. Just moves so quickly. Just moves so damn quickly. Also, in terms of the Miami Heat defense, the defense on paper should be good with Davion Mitchell, Wiggins, and Bam being plus defenders. They have moments for sure, though, especially I feel like in the clutch outside of obviously today. Donovan Mitchell an insane shot over what's it called? In love with the money. Just fuck them all. Khalil Ware, yeah, that was a tough shot, just in the corner. Looked like maybe potentially false hope of him stepping out of bounds, and nope, he did not step out of bounds. Clear as day. Kind of smack Drew's flashbacks as a Heat fan in the ECF against the Celtics. I always think about that every single day for the rest of eternity. Not every single day, but every now and then. I'm not a maniac. But yeah, they mentioned that earlier, and I was like, yeah, flashbacks. Sigh. The rebounding, in my opinion, is an issue, especially when you have Bam Adebayo switching out on the perimeter. Out forward. Especially if you're gonna have like a fully healthy lineup with like Wiggins at the 4. Like, kind of happens unfortunately. But yeah. When healthy, like I mentioned, the starting five though should be Davion, Hero, Powell, Wiggins, and Bam. Spo doesn't fully trust Nico or Ware. They have their ups and downs. They're 21 and 22 respectively. It just happens, The defense could be better. Like again, we're 7th in net rating, but we had some high scoring games again. Some of that is because of the pace, but also could be better. Need Bam back when he's fully healthy. Not really improving. Obviously the defense when Tyler Hero comes back because he's really a cone. He's really just not built big, and he's just like he tries at points, but it's like, how much can you do at the end of the day? You know, at least he's not giving up more than he's scoring. You just got to take it at the end of the day, but it is what it is. He could also use a third center. You know, they don't have one right now currently. They have Vlad, who doesn't really get minutes on a two-way contract out of FAU. You know, with Bama right now, it's kind of patchwork. At point you're seeing Jovic at the 5. At point you're just seeing just random random people just playing big out of the 5. You're seeing Jaime play the power forward position. Like it's just Eric Spoelstra's world, and we're living in it. But yeah, I've been thoroughly impressed with the Miami Heat so far this season. The offense in particular, the defense. I expected Miami Heat to have at minimum like a top 15 defense, but averaging the most points in the NBA. The amount of players that are all just buying into the system and just making the most out of opportunities, and you know, just really rocking a nice sizable rotation right now. Where it's like, you know, you have the Wiggins, you have the Kalels, you have the Norms, the Davions, the Pellas, the Simones, the Hawkeses, the Jovic, the Drew Smiths. Like, it's just been absolutely phenomenal. But now I want to get into a little bit more of Jaime Jaquez Jr. and then I'll break down the stats for everybody else overall as well. But in terms of Jaime Jaquez Jr. this season, man, he's been absolutely phenomenal. He's doing everything, scoring at will at the paint, rebounding and playmaking wise. The bounce looks there, the burst looks there, the playmaking leap is here. The hops are helping with the rebounding. He's been an impressive defender. Last year he was out of it. I'll be honest, I was basically done with him. The tunnel vision, the spin move gimmick, the couldn't shoot gimmick, just wasn't productive. Just did not look there, you know. But wow, this looks like rookie Jaime Jaquez Jr. Him with the midi would be absolutely beautiful. He had a nice shot again, tied a game over Jalen Tyson today. He has the post fade every now and then, but kind of has some, like, you know, a little bit of DeMar DeRozan in him, but I can't really say DeMar because DeMar has an automatic midi, and that's nowhere near Jaime Jaquez Jr. currently, but just lives at the rim. Shout out to Jaime. Just perfect driving kick guy, too, you know. Shout out to Jaime. If he can develop a corner 3, chef's kiss, that would be phenomenal. Just a ferocious downhill scorer. Unfortunately, though, he really, like I mentioned, can't shoot. Still is a spin move merchant, but, you know, he's not just spamming the spin moves every single time. Like, he's going to the rim, he's thugging up people, he's doing this, he's doing that. Like, hey, shout out to that boy Jaime Jaquez Jr. His confidence is through the roof. The Heat are going to him in the clutch, and he's coming through. Clutch buckets over clutch buckets over clutch buckets. Yeah, the Heat, by the way, according to Pivot Fade, are plus 128 before tonight's game with Jaime on the court with a 19.8 net rating. Now, I want to quickly look real quick just to see if that had changed or updated over the last couple of hours. The Miami Heat are let me see, where did I leave off on? I said plus 127 and 295. Okay, that's actually more now. Miami Heat actually, oh my god, no, it went down. Joking, by the way. Miami Heat with Jaime Jaquez Jr. on the court have a plus minus of 127, a net rating of 17.1 with them off the court in 205. Mind you, the on was with 328. The off is with 205. He is the Miami Heat are a minus 64 in terms of plus minus with Jaime Jaquez Jr. off the court, a net rating of negative 11.6, an offensive rating with him on the court of 119.8, defensive at 102.7, 116 with him off the court, and 127.6 with him off the court. So, shout out to that boy Jaime Jaquez Jr. The defense on paper, though, like I mentioned, should be good with Davion, Wiggins, and Bam. It just had its moments, but I not really worried about the defense with those three if they're going to be starting. You know, just worried about the rebound with Wiggins potentially playing at the power forward position. But yeah, I've been thoroughly suppressed this season with Jaime Jaquez Jr. He is, I'm going to say, officially back. If he develops a midi and just at least every blue moon could hit a corner 3, we're cooking with fish grease. We're cooking. All right, so I finally found a corner pivot fade. This lineup has only played 22 minutes together, and that's a lineup of Kalel, Wiggins, Davion, Bam, and Norman Powell. That has a plus minus of -6 and a net rating of -12. So, yeah, in terms of offensive rating, that lineup has, if I can get my finger on it, a offensive rating of, I believe, 110. Yep. And a defensive rating of 122. So, yeah, for whatever reason, that lineup doesn't work. So, right now, got Bam as a starting center. Kalel is the backup. And, you know, for the Ultimate Hero comes back. Probably see Wiggs at the 4. Shout out to Pella Larson, though. Shout out to the boy Pella. Need a rotation. Shout out to Pella. Shout out to that boy Pella Larson. Shout out to that boy Norman Powell. Shout out to that boy Eric Spoelstra. Shout out to that boy Noah Roach. Y'all saved my life, man. Y'all saved my life, man. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all for sure. But, yeah. It is 1:30 a.m. here on the East Coast. I'm edit this, go to bed, upload this, something around like maybe like noonish probably. But yeah. But other than that, yo, that is the video. Make sure to go down below, drop a like, comment down below, sub up. Make sure to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. It's your boy John. Also, follow me on Instagram and Playback. Links and everything will and will always be in the description box down below. But other than that, it's your boy John. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Go Heat, and I'm out, man. Peace.